はい、ということで始まりました。黒い砂漠、アルシャ闘技場決勝戦、北米 vs ヨーロッパミラー配信、2026ハイデル宴会直前。ということで、本日朝5時30分から行われる、黒い砂漠公式のね、公式さんの方の、北米 vs ヨーロッパのアルシャの闘技場、PVP ですね。の、大会の決勝戦の模様を、ミラー配信をね、当チャンネルでもやっていきたいと思います。どうぞよろしくお願いします。ということで、ひとまず、残りあと5分ぐらいで、配信の方ね、開始されますので、時間になりましたら、この黒い砂漠のゲーム画面からそちらのね、配信チャンネルの方に切り替えていこうかなというふうに思います。どうぞよろしくお願いします。さらに、多分ですけれども、公式さんの方からも多分出るとは思うんですが、クーポンですね。この大会のなんかクーポンがあるそうで、そちらの方も、ミラー配信中に、僕の方からも一応、出せると思いますので、出させていただこうかなと思いますので、楽しみに待っていてください。ということでね、ひとまず、のんびりってわけじゃないけど、のんびりでもないんだけど、してようかなと、ね思います。これどうやって配信を行おうかな。ひとまず、じゃあ、お待ちくださいね。こうして、こうして、こうして、これを、こうして、こうして、こうしておけばいいかな。こうして、で、こうして、感じかな。はい。ちょっとテストで、ね、出していこうかなと思います。はい。真ん中の方がいいかな。真ん中の方がいい。ちょっと調整しますね。いいか。全面に出しちゃおう。ね、全面に出しちゃいましょう。はい。ということで、残り1分17秒ということでね、やっていきたいと思いますので、どうぞよろしくお願いします。あれ画面が閉じちゃったな。あれ画面閉じちゃったな。ちょっと待ってくださいね。ちょっとお待ちくださいね。画面が、ちょっと待って。画面が閉じちゃった。どうなってるんだ。どうしたあ、映ったかなあ、映りましたね。はい。ということで、じゃあ、これは、音はどうしようかな。これどうやって音出すか。ちょっとお待ちくださいね。と、多分音出ていると思いますんで、こちらで、始まりましたね。ということで、ミラー配信、やっていきたいと思いますんで、どうぞよろしくお願いします。
It's been about, what, 3-4 years? Hey, this is going to be the match of the night. You are just running. It's kind of a bar.
Phanteks B, the god of mystics. Holy.
They were full gas, no brakes, and they took the win.
Oh my god, he tried to grab the head of the match. And this is exactly the play that they needed to try and win out this match.
All game, no breaks, all work, no play.
And that is the damage he needs. That is 3-2 as they take the win.
What can they pull back? Is this going to be the reverse sweep? That is some big gameplay.
Sitting at the top, you didn't notice yet.
And we're down to our final two players.
All game, no breaks, all work, no play, all night, all day. Nah, I could never quit.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the world. Welcome to the NA versus EU showdown here at Heidel Ball 2026. My name is Sia Mendeleev. I am your host for today's match, and I hope you all enjoy. Without further ado, let's take a look at who will be playing on the stage today.
Combat, the heart of Black Desert. But its soul belongs to the players. The masters who push their class to the absolute limit. Every skill, every matchup, tested by battle. The eternal rivalry takes center stage.
And he's going to get grabbed. Akari says, I'm here to Beal. Oh my god, a little fade away from Belly. It's over, Cow. He got the back attack.
Phanteks B claiming victory. Get Juicy C's Bloom, you absolute goat. From Avi, it is a 2v2 with
Introducing your NA and EU champions.
Exciting stuff. Okay, I think it's time to bring on our contestants. First, starting off in the red corner, your home team, Team Their team captain is none other than Cozy, and alongside him is Belly and Calb. All right. In the blue corner, all the way from Europe, Team EU. Their team captain is none other than FTP. Alongside him is Bruim and Avi. All right, we have our teams on the stage today. Let's take a look at the rules and rewards. Okay. Let's take a look at those rules and rewards real quick. Yeah. Okay, so it is the Arena of Arsha, and it is going to be a 3v3. We've got Arsha's gear 3. We've got a 375 AP, 435 DP. Of course, it is a 3 versus 3. Okay, moving on. Okay, now let's take a look at it. Is going to be best of 5 sets. We've got the first set 1 to 4 of best of 3 rounds, and set 5 is going to be a best of 5. First team to win 3 sets claim victory. Class changes between sets will be allowed for the NA versus EU Showdown Championship. Okay, now the rewards. What are they playing for other than gloating? Okay, let's take a look. Right, the winner will be taking home each an AMD Radeon RX 970 XT. Also, they're going to be taking away an Alienware Pro headset, keyboard, and mouse, and a Blessing of Old Moon 360 days and the title, The Greatest Class. Okay, and running up team, we have AMD Ryzen 9 8800X3D, as well as the Pro headset, keyboard, mouse, the Greatest Class title, and of course, the Blessing of Old Moon. Okay, that is it for the rules and rewards. Now, let's introduce our casters for today. We have none other than the Rap God Armin TF, and alongside him is the GOAT, the undefeated Divios.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. Is everybody hyped up for today? I'm hyped up myself. How are you feeling, Divios?
I'm feeling great. Cannot wait. Another NA versus EU fight. Only two ever. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And today's matchup, we have some crazy, crazy players. NA versus EU, our first NA place team alongside our first EU place team. Going head to head, this is the third ever NA versus EU matchup that we have ever had.
Yeah, like, it's so rare we get these opportunities, and having it at the hideout ball is greater than ever. It's going to be a lot of pressure. Playing online is so different. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is a completely different experience playing here in the stadium compared to normally being at your house, but especially for our players playing on stage, and they have so much opportunity for greatness here in these kinds of matchups. And let's talk a little bit about the matchups. Let's talk a little bit about each player, their classes, and everything that they've been going through. So, home stadium, let's talk a little bit about NA first.
Right, so
we have Kalb, Akari, and Belly. Who do we have on each of these players?
All right, it's awesome. So we have Cozy, otherwise known as Akari. Longtime Meiwa player, more recently playing LAN on the Waken LAN, super powerful. We got Kalb, longtime Sage, rank 1 for seasons and seasons, absolute powerhouse. Been playing a lot of practice on the Kuno now, the Kuno in general. And then obviously we have Belly. Belly actually the only player to be in multiple NA versus EU tournaments. So getting him back here, used normally on the Witch, but on the Wizards seemingly recently. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is going to be a great time to watch. I fought against all these players constantly, so have you, especially in AOS, and I can attest to their greatness. But they are up against EU, and we do have some amazing EU players. FTP, as some people call him. We have Aviel, and we also have Pruim, who is the PvP 100 champion winner from EU, one of the greatest strategies. And it's going to be a great tourney. Tell me a little bit about the EU players.
Yeah, so AVL, longtime player, playing Deadeye when it came out. I remember the Deadeye season. That was crazy. Now recently on the Megu, because Deadeye got some changes. FTP, everyone say he's the GOAT, the absolute insane Mystic. People always say if NA has me on Striker, EU has FTP on Mystic.
The best Mystic. Everyone likes him. I mean, it is crazy how much accolades, knowledge, and experience over the years that FTP has. And he is the team captain for EU, so I'm expecting him to show up big.
And then obviously we have Pruim as well. Like you said, the belt champion. You got the belt over here. We got the belt up on stage.
Yeah, definitely. And he's been a long-time player as well, and I think also a multi-class aficionado. And once again, if you guys are not aware, they will be able to change classes throughout the sets as they go on. So one set ends, they are able to swap classes and potentially throw off their opponents. Maybe something's working, maybe something's not. So it will be a big factor for these players today. And Pruim, being that multi-class aficionado, I'm curious to see what he brings. He's got the Nova, he's got the Seraph, maybe something else cooking in the back, who knows?
No, they had so much time. There's so many class changes that happened since the last tournament happened. We don't know. Every match people could change. 3 classes, anything could happen. It's just so much time. There's so much time to prepare for this, and people could just bring out whatever they want. We have some ideas, but Who knows?
It's hard to know for
Maybe
sure.
there's not even FTP just pulls out something crazy.
Yep.
Maybe like Cal, I don't know. You know.
It is hard to know for sure. Now, talking a little bit about these guys, I know both teams have been practicing a lot, especially the NA team. They've been doing scrims over the past like 3 weeks, something, trying to prepare for this, trying to show up for an NA. And we even have the NA crowd here behind us, getting ready to cheer on for NA. And you can hear they're already ready. They're already ready. So these EU players, they have a lot of kind of pressure and I guess adversary to go through to try and win this. Do we have any EU players in the attendance? Anyone try to cheer on? Okay. They're doing their best. They're doing the best. It's a little tough. But if I have to say so myself, if we're talking about the matchup, we're talking a little bit about analysis, I actually do want to give a little bit of kind of advantage to EU here on some end, kind of early starting on. Hey, listen, I might be from NA, but I got to speak honest as an analyst here. I don't know what you think, Davies.
Yeah, I mean, the EU comp is really strong. I missed Memo. Like there was 4 players obviously going into it. They had CJ on the Sage. We also had Memo on the Tamer, not here today.
Yep, one player for each team missing, yeah.
But it's really sad to miss them. But I think the comp is really good. There's a lot that can happen. We'll get into this analysis as the games get going later, but there's so much the way these fights can go, it can be so explosive. These classes that they're known for playing, they're so fast. There's going to be crazy movement all over the place, damage out, the insane damage all throughout. It's everything.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about kind of the difference between AOS and AOA and how some of these classes might come into play.
Yeah. So in AOS, you have much bigger arena. The arena of Arsha is so small, as well as there's also HP decay. So after 1 minute and 2 minutes, you lose max health, which means it's a lot easier to die. Like anyone could die. Last 60 seconds, in Solera, people just run away, disengage, someone dies, you're out.
Yes, something you told me actually last week that I heard, on top of the reduced HP, there's also reduced healing on top of that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, ever since the masterclass, they actually had reduced healing too. So again, we know Belly with the Witch Wizard, like those heals are not going to be as effective later on. Mystic with the PA, all the like healing from like Lon and all that, it's not going to be as strong later on, and damage gets really scary last minute.
Yeah, so thinking about strategy here, potentially, what do you think? Do you think maybe one of the teams will want to play towards time, try to stall it out, go for a damage chip at the end? How do you think catches are going to be working here? Because I do look at this matchup, I do look at both teams, and I will say, while everyone is really protected, you know, there is classes like Lawns in this matchup. While they're really great at catching, they're also really vulnerable to getting shot, one shot potentially through damage. And there is another, a Megu on the other team, which is really good at trading down along.
Yeah, like I think the EU team has way better catches, especially if we do actually get the Awakened Nova coming out. The Excel timing is going to be terrifying.
Oh, super scary.
That plus the Nova, the ambush, the Rhapsody going on your back every 6 seconds. It's really scary.
Yeah, it is going to be incredibly scary. And you can see the matchups here. It looks like we do have the classes, I believe this is confirmed, for the first set coming up here. So once again, they are able to swap out classes as the match is going on. And it looks like FTP is playing Wizard potentially for the first match instead of Mystic. We have Pruim on the Nova, AVL on the Megu. Akari is deciding to come in on the Meiwa for the first set. Belly on the Wizard, and Kalb on the Kuno. Tell me what you think about this matchup.
Seeing FTP on Wizard it's crazy to me. I could not imagine that. Akari on the Meiwa. I think Meiwas can be pretty good here. They have so much damage. The damage on NA team is insane here. But it's very vulnerable in the Meiwa too. They have the suctions, they have slows, they have Avi just sticking to you, dropping damage. Later on, it could be really scary for Akari.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of a curveball from EU getting thrown at NA here. I personally didn't expect a Wizard coming out from FTP. I didn't even know that he played Wizard, and I don't know if the NA team did know in this regard. As for the NA team, I'm also curious about the Meiwa pick from Akari. Now, keep in mind, he has been a Meiwa main for many years. But I think in this meta, and a lot of people can attest to this, classes like Lawn or, you know, grab classes in general that are really strong have dominated Arena of Solera and all these spaces for a while now. So seeing a matchup where we have both teams and there is actually only 2 grabs across both teams is a little crazy to see.
Yeah, it's just a big damage dump on both sides. Seeing FTP on Wizard just like maybe got some practice with mages. I mean, the EU guys, they got that Wizard. He's always top 1.
Mages,
top 2,
I guess. Yeah, crazy
top
good
2
Wizard.
in EU last season. So got a lot of practice against him. And yeah, having that speed spell early for the Excel speed spell is, he's going to be so fast.
Yeah, it is going to be insane. Seeing Speed Spell, Excel, Nova, maybe that's actually a part of the strategy, kind of going for that fast early engage. It could be something that we really, really have to worry about. But as for the EU team, actually now that I look at the matchup, I think that they might have a pretty good time here, although I am worried a little bit about the Wizard. How are they going to hold up against that kind of damage being thrown at them with Sakuno? Everyone knows, notorious for having really, really big damage. And one big thing that I did want to mention is Sakuno, while she did get nerfed and kind of dropped a lot of tiers for Arena Solaire, a lot of people were noticing that after the early season they plummeted on the leaderboards. It is a lot better in Arena of Arsha. The arena is so small, you have such fast mobility to get across that entire space, instantly gap close. It's definitely going to be scary to worry about.
It's going to be really, really scary. I do think, though, later on, I think it's really scary for the Nova. There's so much damage with Mewa, Sakuno, and Wizard, especially with Speed Spell. Like, as soon as that excels down, there's going to be a lot of pressure in that tiny little arena. He's going to have a really hard time living after that.
Yeah. Trying to run the Charger Excel against these classes, especially at Mewa, will be really, really tough.
It's going to be really up to FTP there to actually keep him alive. You got the heals, you have Archmage, you have PA. You have a lot of extra lives to save the Nova, but
yeah, definitely
only so much you can do.
And, well, it looks like we have the match about ready to go. And with that, I'm going to throw it over to Enlave to get us started. Oh, it seems like we need a second, but should be ready to get started in a second here. Oh, there we go. And Liv.
Let the game begin!
Let the games begin. We have our match underway. NA versus EU. Who's hyped up? Oh, it's time. Let's get it away. FTP, Awakening Wizard immediately out of the gate. I thought it might have been in succession, but it's not going to be. Cal, early grab is going to land on FTP. Immediate collapse over onto him. Belly gets a TP over. He's going to be trying to drop damage. Earthquake evade over to the side. Maker's going to be spinning on him. Belly's already down to 40% HP. Needs to be really careful. He's going to try to reset and get his HP back where he can, but it might be a little bit tough. Going backing off. There's a Bolai. Tendon, Calb on the backing up over behind Belly. Going to try to get a little bit of a reset. Avi over in the middle, getting his spins off where he can. SA trading. Belly dropping the Bolai one more time. Doesn't manage to get a chip out over onto him. You see already a V popped out by FTP. He got caught out over on the side, and now it's going to be reset from him. But oh no, Belly down to 50%. Caught out and forced the V. He's coming out solo on HP. I'm not going to sure if he's going to be able to heal up and reset here. His team's going to back up and try to get some peel off. EU taking aggression. They're going to take the pressure. We had Aviel. Unfortunately, the Megu is going to get caught out over off camera to the side. Another V lost out from EU. So EU now down to 2 Vs. Belly, mass CP. Proom trying to pressure him over on that Nova. He might have his Excel available. Not too sure. 2 minutes on the timer as Red Moon comes out from Akari, going for a little bit of damage pressure. Backing off, throws the NATO. Good grab from Cal. It's going to be on Broom. Broom has to be available though, but he may just stand up. It looks like he has his SA buff up, but they're going to go for the full chip on him. So standing up, still be available. You see EU and NA, both teams resetting. They're going to get back up. They're going to get their buffs up. They're going to try to get what they can. And we're going to see who's going to be the engage. Is it going to be the big Calber? He's going to manage to get 2 grabs already off in this match. But he's going to be the first one caught out. And massive CC from FTP forces him on the ground. Calb now down with a V. 1 V available on each team. It's going to be Proom and Akari, arguably the 2 weakest classes in this match. But what kind of work can these 2 small men do? Aviel down to about pretty low HP. It looks like Calb wants to take a bit of aggression despite not having his V available. Calb goes forward, ends up missing his grab off by a mile. He needs to step up if he wants to and win this match. Shadow Clone over to the side. Akari, oh my god, almost one shot. Barely managed to get his V off and on final minute. No HP, no iframes to try and survive. This might be the death. We're down to the 1 minute timers. They're trying to pressure out Akari. Cal's trying to do the best he can. Aviel backing up over behind the pillar. You're going to see a grab came out from Cal. Didn't manage to connect. Aviel not going forward. Goes with a forward spin. Zacking Akari ends up dying. Popped down. Aviel the first one to get a kill. The first blood from Aviel. We called it earlier. We were talking about it off stream. This class, this Megu is going to have so much damage pressure, and it might be the winning play for EU, but again, they clutch it up. Belly trying to do his best to survive here. 30 seconds left. TP goes to the lightning, not going to manage to connect. Avil over the side, drives over the bow light, managed to hit Avil. Big meteor doesn't manage to connect. FTP down to 20, trying to live it out. 20 seconds. Can this EU team hold on? Can NA pull it back? 15 seconds sent out from EU. 15 seconds. This is NA's last shot for the first round. There we go! A massive grab to try on to the opponents. It's going to manage to kill their. No, it looks like it was a grab over on the Broom. So unfortunately, it doesn't amount to much. It comes down to HP. Calb ends up falling, and EU is going to come out on top. A massive clutch from them. Massive pressure from Avil and massive damage CCs coming out from the EU squad to get those Vs.
The Awakening Wizard, we were not ready for the Awakening. We didn't even talk about Awakening. We just assumed it was Succession, talking about mages.
Think about Awakening Wizard.
The Controlled Madness, the E-buff plus Excel, the start is insane. There's so much of Belly instantly dropping down to 15, 30%, so like just instantaneously before anything even happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how this NA squad can deal with that kind of damage, and typically you'd have another iframe class here like Alon that could actually try and survive, but with Akari and not having a lot of grab pressure, you're actually going to have a really tough time trying to grab this wizard. This Mewa is not going to manage to amount to much, so their main target needs to be the Nova. 2 minutes and 40 seconds, early damage comes out. Belly's going to be the first one to be. They're going to get a catch up on FTP though. Cal with the flash slash, good connection, goes for it. Presses slash, follows it up into the foxhole. Aviel over on the other side, trying to go for a spin, trying to hit over on the Belly, no connection.
Nice
gets caught out of his FG. Nice bull light came out from Belly to get that CC right there. You see Pruim run away from Calb over on the very opposite side, bit far away. Akari swing in the middle, going for those D-bite lingers. Calb arrow trying to go for a little bit of connection. He's going to be looking for a red moon here out of this carpet. No, not going to manage to connect. Dashes forward, sitting over in the middle once again. Calb, meanwhile, you can see over on the side, Ghost Greeting, Shadow Stomp, trying to pressure out the EU squad where they can. Already 2Vs down. It's going to be the FTP and APL. Another CC.
FTP goes down!
No, available. He falls down on the ground. EU early caught out. 1 minute in, and they're already down to 2. Aviel with no V available, and Pruim on this Nova is taking so much damage. He almost died standing. So much burst. They managed to. Oh, Belly ends up falling in the middle of it. It looks like it was an oversmith. Cal's gonna pop his Eva to try and recover in this situation. Dashing forward over to the opposite side. Goes forward. Shackles trying to get over behind Pruim. Pruim just holding over that frontal guard. He's gonna drop the Magnus. Take Ghost Greeting. Shadow Stomp. He managed to finish off Pruim. And now dashing away, Aviel over onto the back end. He needs to try and win this 1v2. Can Amega survive this though? He definitely has some classes that he can punish the frontal guard on. Meiwa's going to be going for frontals. The Kuna's going to be going for an S-block, so he has a window here to try and clutch up Akari with no V available. It looks like Drew managed to get that at some point over in the match. Spins, like I managed to connect. It's going to be a flash touch coming over from Calb. He tried to go for the block dunk. Didge managed to get the CC right there. Block on Megu does not actually CC behind frontal guards. You need to have your spin available to try and get
50% health sticks now, anybody can die.
Yeah, 1 minute timers. He needs to speed this up, and I'm wondering if almost at this point, maybe they want to get some of their cooldowns back, especially if this round may go on longer. This can be advantageous going into the next match.
As long as they think they can be safe, not risk dying. Again, it's just, they're looking at good pressure on the Nova, the Wegu, but it's very scary. Last minute, they targeting really low.
Aviel down to 20. He's getting pressured out really hard. The Shackles managed to hit him. It's a final 6 and the last hit of damage is going to be there. NA are going to tie up the set 1-1.
1-1 now. Both Wizards. Both Wizards obviously the target here. The Wizard E-buffed early there. They didn't have Archmage. They used Archmage both of them first round, but it should be coming up soon. PA as well. Pretty long close. PA will be up soon too.
Yeah, so the cooldowns here are big. We definitely have the PA. We definitely have all this stuff that they have to worry about. And going in this next round, I don't know how much of it I saw from Belly, but I did see FTP did pop the PA, I believe, correct? So that can be a big loss for EU. Now going into the third round, the final for the first set is TC! FTP's on the ground, immediately forced out to B. Back to the opposite side. Akari's been making some work happen, some magic happen. FTP's getting pressured out. Maybe going to try to get a little bit of peel on. Aviel is sitting on top, and Pruim on the opposite side. He's going to get some crowded pressure over on the Belly, trying to help maybe make it those slows not be as big of a problem. 2 minutes 30 seconds. Prum's going to get out now. He still has his Excel available if he wants to manage to try and pop it. Big reset coming out from EU and the NA squad. We're going to see who's going to be the first one to pull the trigger. It looks like it's going to be Aviel trying to go for a little bit of forward pressure. No, it's going to be Tentacoder. Everything's dashes in. It's a grab of FTP. No, they don't expect the count, man. He managed to make some work in the first match, but the second and third, he's been out for the count. And now, what more can Calb do? Belly says, I'm here to support you, trying to go for those meteors, those bull lights where he can. Big pressure comes down to Calb. He's going to be forced to V. It looks like Pruman and Avio managed to put out some good work right here. They're going to turn around and get Akari as well. Avio with a massive catch. 1 minute 45 seconds here. Avio's managed to get 2 CCs already, but can he get the V on a Belly? Oh, no, Belly already with no V available. It's going to be no V's completely at all. Long range damage. They're trying to go for pressure where they can. Pruman's got forced to V. The Nova is actually going to be really squishy in this situation, so they definitely can get a lot of damage on him, but Calb gets caught by the spin. You got a figure CC. No, it's too late. Great Peel comes off from Akari. Sorry, Cozy in this situation. Calb backs up over the opposite side. Tendon Cutter just going to get a little bit of a reset. Belly's over the middle, trying to go for the lightning where he can. Pruman backs up. You can see Cozy sitting over on top. He wants to make sure this Nova can't play the game. Goes to the sub arrow. AVL going up behind him. Does not manage to get a CC. Tendon Cutter comes in from Calb, trying to catch out Pruman. Pruman's just doing such a good job of surviving. Resets over onto AVL. AVL going to get stamina back where he can. Pruman's going to get his vacuum cells. He's going to get his XL off. He's going to engage in, and he's going to make it. Belly, the mass UP to save him. What a clutch play. 1%. Calb barely managed to survive. Belly with a huge situation, but can they still clutch it up? There's still 50 seconds left for this EU squad to pull it off. Calb trying to desperately survive as he's running away. 45 seconds left. Is anyone going to manage to get on top of him? The healing is reduced. Remember, it's very hard for him to get his HP back, and it's very hard for Angel to try and survive with 3 minutes. And the last one to catch him out. Massive V on the AV. Now, with only 30 seconds left, Pruman has to make some magic happen here. Avi can back off and get a heal off, maybe get his HP back where he can. Smokescreen comes out from Cal, a little bit of a reset. Opposite end, Pruman dies. Belly with the catch. He was the one to save Cal and keep this at 3v2, and he's going to be the one to finish it out with the bow line. Massive plays from NA and a massive first set to the home crowd.
NA takes the first round. That match was insane. I was not expecting. The Wizards were fighting back and forth. Both V's lost like instantly every round. Calb makes the massive play, going right on the grab. The second it gets FTP. Oh, it didn't matter. The 2v3 against Nova Mega was so scary. They have so much damage. It gets last minute. Everyone's so fast. Calb lives with 1% HP. The Belly Archmage to save him, just barely.
Mass TP, I wish we had a full POV of that. Somehow in the middle of all that, Calb gets caught and Belly pulls a Mass TP on his last stick of health to save the round. That could have been, that was the game-winning play right there. What could have been the game-turning decision for EU turned into a saving grace for the North American squad.
I'm really a little bit. My heart was pumping that round. It was insane. And yeah, NA takes the first set. You see?
Yeah.
And now, again, this is the part where it's very interesting. None of these guys are locked in. Every other tournament they've ever done, you're playing the same class start to finish, the whole game. Maybe you can swap specs, but never swapping classes. Soon we'll see what gets locked in for the next round.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big part, right? Like, what else are they going to potentially pick? Yeah. Is FTP going to swap over the Mystic? The Wizard, it worked out well for the first round, but everything after that, those last 2 crucial rounds where they had a lead, they get reverse sweeped on because he gets caught out first. He dies first from some crazy massive grabs by Calb. So, what do you think he's going to potentially swap to, or what does this EU squad need to do to adjust to beat this NA team right now?
Again, I think they played really well. It's just, yeah, like Calb was just, he was really on it. Again, like you were talking to me earlier, playing the Ninja Akuno on stage in front of everybody. It's a lot of APM, it's a lot of nerves.
And it looks like it's not even there for him. He's not even nerves at all.
They're playing amazing. And then, AV was playing amazing that match. He was constantly...
AVL is popping off.
He was getting crazy damage, just not quite able to finish off Akari a couple times, Belly living with almost no HP, but he's getting all the damage off.
ちなみに向こうだと、昨日のだから夜8時頃になるのかな、ね、20時頃になると思います。
But he lived, and he was the last person on the EU squad to lose his V.
時差の関係ですよね。
So it's almost like they just need that little bit from FTP to try and potentially push this forward, and maybe that's a class swap, maybe it's not, maybe they're going to go in the same plan to try and survive this, but I mean, how do you think this next set's going to go potentially?
Yeah, no, back with MOBA background, we always called this, like, you say it's like a salty run back, where you just run the same comp, you're like, oh, we just played it bad, and a lot of the time you did just make a mistake or something, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just getting used to it. Again, playing on stage for the first time, no one's really used to this. There's no like BDO esports, we're getting there, but it's just, we have to really like, it just takes some time, get things flowing, get the move on. I think everyone saw like it's very close.
It is very close. Now, with all this going on, I mean, It's tough to say for me personally, but I think EU has a really good chance of pulling this back. They already brought the round so close.
Those were,
I can't even talk about the EU squad without hearing Skeptic in the background booing me, man. But with that said, I will say, NA, I mean, definitely they're throwing strong. I want to give my props. I think Calb MVP so far.
Calb in crazy good plays. Belly staying alive. Honestly, I'm surprised how well Akari lived until last minute. Like again, the Wizard plus Nova Mega, that's so much pressure on a little Meiwa. Get caught one suction, forces out Tiger Blade, and just it's really scary. And he never really went, just like Prum was living a long time. We were kind of expecting a lot of pressure on the Meiwa, a lot of pressure on the Nova, but it was all pressure on the Wizards. It was just Wizard versus Wizard.
On the Wizard, yeah. Now, that is another thing. I'm curious with Akari if, despite the win, maybe he wants to swap to the lawn. Now, if you guys aren't sure, every player that's playing in this tournament is going to be receiving the greatest title. So you get the greatest Meiwa, greatest lawn, greatest Kuno, all that stuff. But it does require you to play the class at least once in one of the rounds if they want to try and go for that title potentially. So he's got his Meiwa title. Does he want to go for the lawn title? Maybe he gets to swap him. I don't know. Just something fun to think about potentially.
He could bring out any class. I mean, he could bring Shao for a match if he wanted to. That would be crazy, but
hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
But I believe we do have our second set about to start off, and it was correct.
Yeah.
Akari is going to be swapping to lawn, and FTP is going to be going on the Mystic. So we have two class swaps here, one for each team. How does this change up the matchup?
Oh, this changes things quite a bit. Again, we're still going to have the pressure
これあれですね、
on the Nova
変え
again,
ら
like
れ
we
る
kind
ん
of
ですね。
expected. But now
メンバーという
Akari
か
on the lawn,
ね、クラ
lawn
ス
is
をこれ変える
super,
こと
super
ができ
scary
るっ
for
て
the
のは面白い
gauntlets.
ですね。
Range grab, it's really rough to fight against. And the speed spell at the start is so much
固
pressure.
定じゃないのは
And it
珍
looks like
し
we
い。
have our game ready.
ね
Any final predictions for this set?
I think EU's going to even it up. I think EU's going to put it up. I think they just FTP now on his comfortable Mystic. I'm going to see it.
All right, well, let's get the game underway. Is NA going to take a 2-0 lead and show their 2-0 dominance at international events? Or is EU going to finally, potentially, manage to pull this one back? Oh, looks like a little bit of a technical pause. We're just going to have most likely a real pause here. Man, I hyped it up so much, and then we're already stopping. No worries, though. Well, it looks like we do have the swap, and yeah, it looks like. What did you say? You said you believe it can be a little bit of a matchup adjustment here.
Yeah, I think with the matchup adjustment, yeah, I think the lawn grab is super scary for the Mystic.
Yeah, the lawn grab definitely scary.
The scary for the Mystic. I do think a lot of pressure. Again, we talked about the lawn is very fragile. They could get a lot of pressure on the lawn. He's a lot easier to run down. Obviously, when he has E-buff, he can just zip around. It's really hard to deal with. But once that's down, it's all up to Belly actually. You saw with the Archmage on Calb, it's going to be a lot of saving from Belly.
Well, one of the things about this NA squad is that their comp is actually really, really scary at peeling. You have a long grab for the peel. You have wizard slows and accuracy buffs and all this stuff for the peels. And Akuno Calb, which if he hasn't already shown, is insane at grabbing. And I want to see that Cal POV here. I want to see how he managed to pull this off, and how is he going to be getting these engages for this NA team, because he's managed to show he's already managed to pull it off once. But what can FTP's Mystic do? This is his best class. This is what he's known for. This is what globally this man has been shown for. And Cal's going to be the first one going for the flash dash. We already have an early CC on ground, and it's going to be on Avio, the first person to get caught up from EU in the middle of all that dust, immediately caught out. I'm not too sure if it was his engage or what, but the lawn is going to manage to get a connection onto him. 2 minutes 40 seconds. Puma's going to get a little bit of a disengage over to the opposite side. Avio sitting in the middle is going to go for a little bit of chip damage from that range CC. Calb already going over past Puma. Stone connects. The second arcade is there. FTP's trying to go for the peel. They don't manage to get the V, but they're going to get a lot of damage over onto Puma. He's going to manage to V standing. Oh, it's going to be Akari caught out. Overcommitting on the lawn. Pushed down Akari down to 30% and forced to V. That is not the V you want to lose on this NA team. The lawn is very, very easy to
lawn E-buff now, very strong still.
Yes. And we're going to have to see, he is going to pop his E-buff, so he's going to be surviving and kind of living for the next 30 seconds here. But as that 2-minute timer kicks in and the HP is going to be running down, that damage chip is going to become more and more important. Prum cut out in the middle. Oh my god, it just explodes! Over on the side, they managed to get a connection onto Prum. well. Novi available. He ends up dying as well. Akari now down to 40. Then this is going to be their target if they want to try and turn this around. This EU squad. Calb is going to already end up popping his E-buff earlier. Looks like he was trying to use it to end up killing Broom, which he did. FTB with his E-buff popped as well. 1 minute 40 seconds. Trying to go for that forward pressure. Spiral Torpedo sitting it out. He drops a vacuum. Is not going to manage to get Akari into it though. He's just going to dance, runs over the opposite side. They're going to be going down for Aviel, down to 20%. Calb, you can see already on the aggressive pressure, trying to go after Avi. Flash slashes away. It looks like he must get his stamina back a little bit. Oh, the connection. Over on Aviel. Massive CC off that eradication. And this NA squad only 1v lost. 2 E-buffs pop, showing dominance here so far in this set, and this Mystic swap, despite having all that CC pressure, does not seem to be getting the results that EU wants so far.
The mobility is so high by the NA team, the Mystic can't hit people. He's having a really hard time getting the hits off. And Akari just, he had no V, it was 3v2, he said no V, no problem, I'm running down Avi, just gets the eradication right on him, 1v2.
Eradication, man, that skill is crazy, and Akari showing its strength. Well, in the middle of 1v2 again, yeah, no V just sends it. And I'm very curious what ended up happening in that matchup that we didn't manage to see it, unfortunately, because Prum was a little bit off screen. But he lost his V and just, he got chipped down so early off that connection by Calvin. Why they didn't manage to get his V, they managed to get some pressure off of it and kind of force him out of the match. And I'm curious, are they going to manage to do that again? Cal's been making so much space, so much pressure for this NA squad. They need to deal with him somehow. Already engages in, down on a Prum. Flash Dash getting a decent bit of damage. Prum's going to be popping his himself, trying to get a little bit of counter pressure, but he's still holding on to that grab. Hasn't thrown it out, I believe, just yet. Still looking forward over in the middle. Gets to the opposite side. Belly trying to go for a little bit of counter pressure. Drops in slow, some lightning over onto him. Cal coming in with that target. Oh my god, Akari took way too much damage. They managed to get a CC on Akari in the middle of that, and he ended up lost his V. It looks like FTP is going to lose his V on the side as well, and you can see Random missing a lot of stuff on the side, but it's because these classes are so spread out. These classes are so fast, and they can get across the arena so easily. Flash Slash trying to get over behind Abby, not going to manage to connect. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. Backing up, FTP doing his best to survive. No! That's the memory! Oh, but a counter CC. Akari ends up dying at the same time. We're in a 2v2. Massive counterplay comes out from EU. They're going to get a CC on the Calb as well. So Aviel Pruitt putting in double work, not only getting the kill onto Akari, but also getting the V out of Calb. Belly and Calb in this 2v2. I'm not too sure how much I want to favor them. This is going to be crazy setup, crazy matchups with Aviel. He's been putting so much pressure on this Megan, doing so well to survive. Backs up, tries to go for the lightning. It's going to get punished out of the frontal guard. Massive CC from Pruitt. Calb's out there to try to go for the peel. Tenakata coming out from Calb is going to be trying to go and sit over on top of Pruitt's head. Does he manage to get the CC? He does. He gets a solo V on the Pruitt. Calb with a massive connection. And that's going to be 1V gone out from the from the EU squad. Aviel still with a V available, the only one left in this match. Belly backs up, tries to go for the lightning. The Meteor is going to manage to hit there. Could have got punished out of his front guard. Not going to be the counter. Pruitt gets caught up by Calb. He solos his V, solos the kill, but he's going to try to survive though. Mass TP's away. He's going to manage to get Calb inside the Mass TP as well. Lost the front guard right there, trying to get his mana back where he can as well. He probably has a mana shield running. Aviel doing his best to survive, and this is Shackles to get the connection. Calb gets 3 Vs, 3 CCs, all the kills. What is it that this man cannot do? Aviel still with a chance to turn this back though. It is going to be really hard, however. So much damage yet, and it stops there to finish it off. Calb is doing so much, and he's going to take the NA squad to 2-0 in sets.
We saw the pressure, like we thought everyone's on Akari.
個別で動いてるのはヨーロッパだけど、チームの強さはやっぱアメリカの方が上のような気がしますね。
He's playing out of his mind right now. Just he's got all the grabs, he's getting all the damage. They're going insane, and then obviously Belly he's living, he's dropping damage slow. Is all he needs. A little utility time to time. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean, this Calb guy, he has played so many classes. He's played Sage. He's been rank 1 on A for multiple seasons. He swaps to Kuno. Struggled a little bit at first, which is understandable, but you're new to the class. And then last season, he was rank 1 on A for showing dominance. And then they nerfed him. They nerfed Sakuno. But in AoA, those nerfs don't matter. He has so much mobility, so much space, still so much damage available, especially on this gear, and he's showing it. He has been the primary driving force for this NA team, and I'm curious what the EU squad can do to try and kind of shut him down. They're managing to get kills on Akari. The Lawn's not managing to play well, which is really good by them, but he's managing to get CCs on FTP. He's getting connections when they need it over onto Pruitt. It's just so hard to deal with.
It's just, there's so much, it's so much, oh, I'm sorry. And yeah, remember with that, NA goes up 2-0, they're already on match point. This could be a sweep, maybe. But Love to see you.
I would hate to see it. I would hate to see it. I want to see this EU squad kind of pull out a little bit. This needs to be a close match for the audience here, for everyone watching at home. And I know we do have NA in attendance, but we have a lot of EU fans rooting back home. And if you guys don't know, the NA chants are starting in the background. If you guys don't know, NA is currently, at least at international events, 2-0 against EU. EU has yet to win an international event against them. This is the one that EU needs, and if it's going to start, this is the reverse sweep that needs to begin.
Yeah, we're gonna have to lock in here. It's a lot. Again, just all it takes, especially in like we're doing best of threes. Obviously, not the whole thing is best of three, but just all it takes is one little mistake, one little thing costs you a round, and you're already like, oh, I might already be down one, and it's just. And we'll see, we have time before the new classes come in. We don't know if they'll be sticking the same thing. We're switching it up. But
it's the nerves. If you guys don't know about it, I mean, nerves are a real thing. We've talked about it. Almost every tournament I've casted, we've talked about it, and I'm curious if that's coming into play here, especially on FTP. I'm wondering if the Wizard, starting out on the Wizard and then swapping to the Mystic, maybe it's hard to swap classes on the fly there. Funny enough, both players have swapped classes in that match, both Alon, Akari going from Maywa to Alon, and then FTP on the Wizard to the Mystic. They struggled the most, actually.
Yeah.
They ended up dying first, and it's hard. It's really hard to go from one to the other, just like that. Spec swapping, not as bad, but class swapping, it's tough.
Running it back, it looks like
they're running it back.
Same classes.
No one's going to get any swaps here.
Again, it's not like they were playing anything too horribly. It's just one little mistake. Cal playing insane, getting catches like just on the side. It's just, it's really, it doesn't take much to swap this round. It just gets some pressure. Akari living with like 10% multiple times. One XL grab, that's like all they need to swap it back. And AV is obviously playing super well. He's the one, he's keeping the EU in this.
You know what I'm curious about? Does FTP swap to Suck Mystic?
Ooh, that's interesting. They could for the damage. I do think though, like having the suction, having the spiral, probably is what you want. But hey, if they feel like they're lacking damage, they want to drop more damage to people standing. It's a lot more damage they can deal.
I actually think it's better in this matchup. I mean, it showed like, or seemed like the suction ones managed to get a lot of pressure, and the mobility kind of burst they have and the damage potential. I definitely think, yeah, it's probably the correct choice. And with that said, we have our game ready. The third and potentially final set of our NA versus EU tournament. Is NA gonna close it out, shut it down 3-0, or is EU gonna pull it back and begin the reverse sweep? Gates underway. ABS, what do you think?
I think EU brings it back. I think we're going to set 4. I think they're locked.
We're going to set 4.
I think we're going to set 4.
Davius said it. Let's see if it's true. NA versus EU, is this going to be it? Can NA finish it off? Early engages. Prim's going to be already going straight out the gate. Is Miss FTP over on the Psych Mystic? Nope, he is going to be sitting on the Awakening. Belly backing off. It looks like he's going to try to go for a little bit of counter pressure on him. Prim's going to get some damage where he can. Early connection. Prim's on the floor already. Oh no, but they don't manage to get the V. Secondary CC was not available there. Cobb's going to be going for the counter pressure. Akari's caught out already. Akari forced to be on the lawn. Avio backs up over behind the pillar. Is going to manage to get his heal off. 2 minutes, 30 seconds in this matchup. If he can get his stamina back where he can, it looks like he's already back to full. Goes for his managed to get a CC on the Calb. Calb getting caught unaware. Potentially getting caught out of that S-block. You need to be careful, especially around Omegu. And it's going to be Belly, only one available, still left with this V. Over in the middle, Calb's going to be coming straight out of his V. Immediate into pressure. Akari's put on the floor. The spiral torpedo was there. But Akari managed to stand up just barely. Was it a mass TP coming up from Belly? I'm not too sure.
Lonnie buff is up though. You have to be careful.
To try and save one of his teammates. That might have been why Akari managed to survive. So big plays coming out from Belly. Bolai trying to go for the connection there over on the FTP. Looks like they want to pressure out the Mystic, but nothing so far. Axel was popped up over by Prum. FTP dashing forwards. Has that spiral torpedo if he wants to go for it. Potentially a connection over on the Calb. Flash slash. No, it's not going to manage to connect. Sitting over behind the pillar. Calb is going to be looking over on the FTP. You can see everyone is so spread out around this arena. Just kind of slow skirmishes going on. Calb waiting off. Flash slash sitting over in the middle. Goes to the shadow stomp over on the side. Goes to the grab. And he does connect. Akari was there with the grab as well. And they're going to manage to get the punish over on the AVL. Potentially running down the Megu Slam. So massive connection from Calb. That has been the main driving force once again for this NA squad. He's been their shooter. He's been their gunman. But can he close it out here? He needs to try and go for plays where he can. AVL goes for the spin. Forward connection. Akari ends up missing the Calb. Calb now, over onto Cozy. Akari closing out.
Health ticks are coming in here in 10 seconds.
That heal off.
Damage is going to be very scary.
Yeah, very, very scary. 1 minute left. EU, 2 players are going to reset. I'm not too sure where Prue is. Is he in 1v3? No, he's trying to run away. He's down to 50%. Those 50% HP timers from the 1 minute is kicking in now, and HP healing is reduced. All damage is going to be super important here, and the ebuffs are going to be starting to come out. Cal still holding over onto his. 30 seconds left. Cal over in the corner. Do they have a CC? It looks like it's on the FTP. FTP is going to get caught out and forced to be. That's 1v down from EU. Goes for a grab. Akari's not going to manage to connect. Cozy's not going to manage to connect. Sorry. ABL backing over at the midfield. Broom holding off. That's going to be the Excel coming out of the Nova. They need to be careful of the super armor. Dashing around. Belly holding off. He's going to be popping his mana regen right there. Waiting it out. Massive warrior POV. FTP over behind the pillar. Goes for the vacuum. It's going to be onto Abby. Looks like he's just trying to peel out his teammate. They're running down a Cozy. Over down to 10%. They managed to get the connection. The spin there was there from Abby, and they're going to manage to get the kill over on a Cozy. Burst down immediately. FTP sitting now over on the belly. What is Cal going to manage to do here? He's trying to look for the connection. He's going to come back to belly, trying to get a little bit of a peel. 10 seconds are left. I'm not too sure if they can pull this off. Shackles on the FTP. Go for a little bit of a back attack. He's going to PA over behind the pillar. Cal's closing in, so he's going to cancel that PA. Doesn't manage to get the grab. Surviving down to 2. It's going to be the final seconds. EU timing out NA and showing their survivability.
Everyone was so low. That last 50 seconds, everyone was below 30%. Almost anything could have killed them. Everyone was playing amazing. No one's really getting caught. Again, there was some bad catches early, though, by the NA. NA got caught early, lost their Vs way too early. So if they want to go back, they need to lock in there.
Yeah, and this NA squad, I mean, we're going to go straight into this round 2 of this third set, and EU is already beginning the reverse sweep. That's the first round they need. They just need one more here, and they can take this quickly and potentially turn this around. This could be the nerves removing for EU, and maybe the nerves kicking in for NA. Belly already trying to credit out and survive. Backs up. That's already both his TPs burned, but the EU squad is going to back off from him. They're showing that they want to try and run down Cozy. He's been a bit vulnerable on this launch so far, and he's already getting pressured out. Proom's going to be backing off, trying to get his Excel where he can. Dashes forward. Went for the grab right there almost. No, it was not his grab popped out. We would have seen a flash, so no connection from him. You're going to have a grab over in the middle. Who's going for that connection right there? Calb is going to be the one going for the connection. Connection on a
FTP, it's got 2.
He's going to get counter CC'd as well, but he's against the wall, so he will manage to survive here more than likely. Down to 30%. He got air smash out of the corner. Nice CC from Abby, but no secondary fall-off. Shackles there. Oh, punish down from SS block. Created a little bit too hard. He's going to manage to be. He does manage to be just in time, but they lost 2 Vs for that. FTP and Proom. Both Vs are going to be gone.
Has
and
ebuff now.
This is
go time.
Yeah, this is go time for them. Akari with that ebuff pop. He definitely needs to try and clutch up here. Abby already spinning over onto Cozy's head, trying to get as much damage as possible, but he's going to get the counter grab. Nice timing from Cozy, and go no Abby. Not able to V. Died way too fast, potentially a greed, potentially an instance of not managing to get it in Dolphin time, but NA is going to take that. 3-2 players right here. EU can definitely still clutch this up. No V available on the Calb, and he is very vulnerable to try and get killed. You definitely need to be careful on Sakuna. While you do have a lot of SAs available, you definitely can get caught out easily. Swallow Torpedo over on top of Cozy, trying to go for the CCs where he can. FTP, this is what he's known for. This is his Mystic. This is the regarded as best Mystic in the world. And this is his time to show it. 1 minute 20. Flash slash comes down over behind Proom. Proom going for the fast engage. No connection. Cozy going in with the CCs. No connection. Proom's going to go for the grab. Was a bit off guard. I'm not too sure. He probably got iframed out from Belly there. But they're going to get the CC on the FTP. Massive bullet from Belly. And it's going to be the kill. And he's going to be looking to take the second round. And Proom's the last member surviving. Down to 20%. It's going to be a struggle to survive. It's going to be a struggle to 1v3 here. And there's no hope in sight. 1-1. We're going to the third round, and potentially NA closing it out.
NA is now on match point. 1 more round, all it takes, but it could bring it back. I think there are a lot of cooldowns used by NA this round. Insane catch onto AVL, but like we said, Lon E-buff is so much pressure. He gets a grab. That's all you need. That's why AOS and everything, they're just so high rated.
It's so hard to deal with. And you can already see the EU squad, despite they're getting warmed up, they're getting in there. Unfortunate situation for Abby there, and Proom's going to be trying to turn around. Early aggression, trying to go immediate grab, no connection there though. Belly comes down, Bow Light going for the counter try. Proom just so trying to sit in the midst of the fight, getting a little bit in the mix. while he has that SA available, but he's not going to manage to get too much off of it. 2 minutes 45. Now you can see he's backing up. Cozy try to go after him from behind, try to go for the grab. It's not going to manage to connect. Sitting over the middle, flash slash. Shadow Storm comes out over onto Abby. No connection coming out from Calb. Pruim just still running around. Calb still out, waiting it out. Has no flash slash available, so he needs to be careful. Massive cluster over on the side. Cozy's going to be losing a lot of HP. It looks like good damage coming out from FTP and Abby combined. Calb's going to try to go for a little bit of a peel right there. Goes for the grab. Flash slash. Tenet Cutter sitting in the middle. Shows for the Shadow Storm. Doesn't manage to get over behind Abby's frontal guard, though. He's still going to be sitting in his super armor. And we have a bit of a CC. Abby engaged a bit too hard, and he got immediately caught on for Savi. Good CC for NA. A bit too much aggression for EU. And they're going to have to take this as an opportunity to reset, but Calb's going to say, no, I'm not going to try to let you get that. Tenet Cutter goes for the grab. Was a bit off, though. He's going to pop his debuff, though. Says, I don't need my grab. I just need some damage here. And we're going to see how the chip damage is going to be working. Abby sitting behind the pillar, getting his HP back where he can. Novi available. It's going to come down to Pruim to try to make a little bit of space. He already ended up popping his second Excel right here. Oh, really low. Cozy's down to 20. Belly's lost his V down to 80. He's going to be coming out his V's soon. Cozy needs to survive here with no EV available. You can see Abby's already going for the hunt. That's going to be sitting behind the pillar. He's going to pop his debuff. That's going to be good survivability for the
He has
lawn.
a little stand back now. AB is keeping up the pressure constantly, though.
Yeah.
Not letting him go.
Yeah, he has to survive in the situation. Goes for the grab. Did not manage to connect there. Get out. We have a CC on the ground. Who is this? Belly! No! Good CC! Akari was stuck in his flight. Belly's going to end up falling. Akari's going to get caught out as well. Calb ended up falling in the miss. And EU are going to take the third set.
I didn't even see what happened there. They both got caught in the mid, both die, and
it looks like Calb got to go for a bit of a peel on a Belly and did not manage to get it off.
now that brings it up to 2-1 now. It's still, again, match point for NA, and all NA needs is 2 rounds. But they could still bring it. It's so close.
It's tough to deal with, and I mean, this NA squad, despite taking those first 2 sets, EU, this is their chance to turn it, and the reverse sweep is beginning now. Is there anything that these players are going to end up swapping up? The EU squad, they're making it work now. They're going with their original plan, or what I think a lot of people thought was their original plan. But does NA have anything to up their sleeve and maybe try and finish this off?
And now we don't know what they'll do with the classes. The classes, maybe they swap up. You think they keep running it? They might keep running it. The crowd's getting really loud here. You guys are hyping this up. Look at all
The crowd is going crazy. And you love to see it, this NA squad, this NA crowd, they want their home team to win so bad. But
first loss. First loss, though, this is one thing to think about. This is the first loss for the NA team. Maybe they got a little shaken up, too. Like, again, once you're in that win, you're 2-0, like 2-1, and now it's like you still got room. You still got room. You can relax. You don't have to be too stressed out yet. But gotta think of what cost you that.
Now, with our 4th set starting off, I think it's going to end here. I think NA, they lost their 1 round, potentially a little bit of unfortunate situations, but I think they can lock in and clutch it up. I think they can potentially finish this off.
I want to see a Game 5 so much.
You want to see a Game 5?
I want to see a Game 5.
Who here wants to see a Game 5?
I guess they don't want a Game 5. They want this over now.
I think
they want to bring the trophy home. They want to keep this 3-0 in A.
Hey,
they're going to bring this year.
You can see the chance started up. Now, I think the Mystic, you can see FTP kind of warming up a little bit more. He wasn't getting caught off guard as much. But I think the big problem that you can see on NA's side right now is Cozy. He's just getting pressured too hard. He's not able to have that impact that you want from Alon in these situations, and maybe the EU squad is kind of catching on to his playstyle. That is one thing about Lon. It's kind of one-dimensional in a lot of situations.
There's not that many things he could do. Like, once his stamina, you saw him, I think it was the last round, he didn't have any E-buff going into it. They just hard pressured him. They got him to 10, 20%. Belly had to pop all his cooldowns just to save him before his E-buff came back up. And then by the time he got E-buff, it's like he was too low to even really use it. And then obviously Calb, Belly got caught in the middle, and they both went down. There's not much they could do.
What are your predictions here?
I think we're going Game 5. I think 2-1 though. 2-1 though. It's going Game 5.
You saying we're going to a Game 5?
We're going Game 5. Let's go.
Okay. NA, what do you think about that? All right. Well, I'm not so sure how well you guys can hear the crowd, but they're going off in the back. So, I think we're just about ready to get the fourth game underway, and I'm curious to think about how these players are feeling. You can see them in the back there, kind of. Oh, actually, it's hard to see, but you can see them over behind me. And we do have the player cams going on, and you can see at times while they're playing these matches, they look stressed. You can definitely see the stress in their faces.
Yeah, if you've never played in front of a stage, in front of people, like you have to realize this is not like a normal thing. It's not like we just got the people here, we got the people here, we got people at home. We got every region really kind of locking in for this. It's like we're at the ball here.
Oh, we're at the ball, yeah. We got a whole stadium here, a whole stage, all the lights going on, and even the crowd. I'm sure they can hear the crowd screaming in the background.
Being on stage at other tournaments, I can say, like, there's times where you'll be in a game and something crazy will happen. You won't hear your teammates for like 20 seconds. At that point, you're just playing off instincts and knowing each other. And that definitely can be happening here.
Yeah, and you know what I'm curious about is, I'm curious what their plans are. They get a little bit of time to kind of discuss and talk about, hey, what are we going to do going to the next set? Who wants to take the lead? Maybe some change of plans. So having that kind of leadership or that discussion is going to be really important. And we haven't really had that for other tournaments. You played in the last NA vs EU tournament. You won the last one. You didn't have that kind of just time for discussion usually.
Yeah, no class option, nothing. We play until it's over. And yeah, the big thing I think the NA team needs to do now, just relax, cool it down. Again, you're still up, you're still on. All you need to do is a couple rounds, and they can bring it home. But it's just, it's just relaxing, playing your game. You've practiced game after game once and months and so many games in preparation for this. They're right there. And for EU, we're trying to bring it home. We're all the way to game 5.
Yeah, and it looks like we have the classes, the matchup ready. We have no swaps. We have set 4 of NA vs EU, and we might have potentially a match 5 coming up here. And that's going to be a best of 5 if it goes to a match 5. So we do have another best of 3 here, so let's see. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Final prediction, you saying EU? Let's get it. NA vs EU match 4, and we're getting it straight out the gate. Pruum, he's been the big factor here so far. All those early engages on the Nova, all that Excel, but he's taking so much damage. Oh my god, the burst! They didn't care about the super armor buff. They just said, we're gonna try to kill you standing. Down to 40%, he's gonna be forced to disengage. Like Akari sitting in the middle. Oh, what a grab from Cozy! Puts him on the ground, V onto Abby, and Cozy's now, that's the pressure you wanna see from Milan. That's the kind of space that you wanna see him make. Cobb playing over behind Belly, he's gonna be trying to go for the counter peel where he can. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, goes in with a 10 cutter. No connection out of the block jump over onto Pruum. Pruum's gonna be sitting in that super armor, backs up with his iframe, dashing forward, Shadow Stomp right there, going for the engage. Doesn't manage to get the grab over onto Abby. Nice dodge by him. Backs off now, Belly over behind the pillar. He's gonna be trying to get some space. You can see the 1v3 and Cozy. He's gonna get caught out. He's gonna put on the ground with a down smash. He's gonna manage to survive and stand up as a result. He does manage to get forced to V, though, so unfortunate for Cozy right there. No V available for Cozy. He barely managed to live. 2 minutes left on the timers. Backs up over behind the pillar. He's gonna be landing. They're gonna be looking for him. He needs to be careful of those Nova vacuums. He ran it right inside of one, so they definitely could have got the kill right there. Cobb goes in, Shackles over behind Zavi. He's trying to get some pressure onto Javi where he can. They're gonna have a lot of damage pressure over onto Cozy, though. Abby's just ignoring Cobb with best of his ability. They want to kill this lawn. Cozy, can you survive? Belly and everybody trying to go for the peel zone. They're gonna manage to get the heal off over onto Cozy, so great reset timer. They're trying to get the stamina back over onto Abby on the correct timers. 1 minute 40 seconds left. Those 1 minute HP is gonna be kicking in very soon. Abby resetting and backing up after his initial spin, going in for the engage. Cozy is a falling Brooms there for the gotch, and Cobb is gonna fall down as well. EU is turning it around. 2 players left on this NA side. They have 1v out over onto Abby. Cal with no V available. He's gonna have to try and get his HP back. He's down to 8%. FTP tries to go for the grab. No connection. We haven't had a lot of words, kind of a lot of shouting down from FTP here. Been a bit of a whisper, but maybe this is the thing that they need from the Mystic trying to survive. Try to put that kind of quiet pressure out to try and push Cozy around the map. And Cal needs to try and make use of that. Try to go for the counter punish. He's gonna be running around. He does have no V, but Belly is already running low on HP. Down to 13%, down to 7. The pressure from the Nova and the Megu combined is just so much to deal with, and FTP is gonna get caught by Cal. Good timing. The Shadow Stomp is there. They're going to manage to force the V out of him. Down to 8%. Belly gets forced to V as well. 4 Vs now out of this game. Broom, the Nova, once again, the last person to V. He's done such a good job at surviving and such a good job at aggression. He's getting pressured out by Calb right here, or by Belly right here. Calb's going to be going for the forward engage. Belly's sitting over in the back trying to go for the connection. No, Calb's going to be the one to get caught. Broom, massive counter CC. They're going to put him on the floor. Belly's the last 1%. They need to get this kill at EU. First round, 4th set, and potentially 1 round away from a match 5. The reverse sweep.
They're having so much pressure on Akari these games.
Yeah.
He's having a really hard time. We talked about it. It feels like they've adjusted to the lawn very good, and they're doing it. AV's keeping up the pressure. Prooms, they excel. That first 30 seconds is so important.
Those first 30 seconds with the Excel, I mean, it seems like he's actually not able to get too much off of it just because there's so much damage pressure that he's eating.
It's just the existence. Its existence is so scary.
Yeah, and he's doing a really great job. This Nova is really hard to maneuver, and he's been doing a great job of surviving in it. But what can Calb do in this matchup? He's been, again, the main driving force. I've said it so many times for this NA squad. But at this point, he's going off track. They're getting off the road. He needs to get them back driving on the highway if they want to try and end this quick. EU does not want to end it quick, though. They want to suffocate them. They want to make them bleed, and Cozy's going to be the start of it. Cozy on the ground, forced to be. They're going to get a counter CC on Abby. Calb gets caught on the middle as well, and they don't manage to get the V out of Abby. Calb, unfortunately, a bit too aggressive, and FTP is going to get the grab onto Belly on the same time. All 3 Vs for this NA squad. It couldn't have gone worse for them, but it couldn't have gone better for EU. They got their bloodlust showing. They're going for the throw. They're trying to finish it off as fast as they can. And they're trying to survive right here. They're going to go for the counter pressure. Who are they looking for? They want to get Abby's V out. You need to be careful of FTP, though. Spiral Torpedo over on the Calb. Flash touch over onto him. Abby leaves. He gets a grab on a Cozy. Cozy got out. Didn't see Abby coming in from behind. Amazing grab coming out. And EU takes the first kill of this round. 2 players left on NA. It's the same situation as last round, but they have barely any Vs to work with. It's only on the Proom, and they definitely can't catch the Nova, and they definitely have the damage to try and kill him, but can Belly survive long enough to try and make that happen? Abby already going for the forward pressure on a Belly. It's going to be the spin coming out onto him. He does manage to get the iframe off to Boyd, a little bit of that damage. Earthquake evade over to the side. FTP is going to be coming up straight close behind, going for the C-Rail, trying to get the chip out where he can. Proom's going to be popping the Excel now. He's going to be in the full SA. He's going to be a CC out to Calb over in the middle. He came back to help Abby after the connection, and this EU squad finishing them off. EU are going to take the 4th set, and we're going to a set 5.
We are going to the set 5. For those who don't know, both the first and the second NA tournament, they also went to a game 5. I'm I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for this. Now, personally, keep in mind, I'm NA, so there's a little bit of bias there. But going to a match 5, it's always the most hyped thing that you can have happen. And I want to see this go the entire way. And EU managing to pull it back after being 2 sets at a LAN event. Do you know how hard that is? How difficult that is? They are back in the bearings. Big mental reset. And their nerves are gone. And speaking of nerves, I mean, going from 2-0 down tied to a 2-2 for this NA squad, that's tough.
It is very, very scary.
まとまりがあまり良くなかったんだけど、3、4戦目はやっぱりEUの方が上ですね。
Again, they saw they can make it work. But they have been putting so much pressure on the lawn. The lawn is having a hard time with. Again, we talked about the sheer mobility of the Megu, the Nova, the Kuno, and the Witch Wizard as well. It's like there's so much going on that it's hard for the lawn to really get anyone except for the Mystic.
I mean, the Mystic actually FTP stepping it up. He's managed to make a lot of space for their team. It's Cozy. I don't know how this lawn has to change his game plan to try and survive a little bit. Is it the whole team that needs to try and play with him, or is it Cozy that needs to step up by himself? What do you think?
So I saw actually the first round, what kind of happened was AV actually lost his V really early, but then Calb was just hitting AV out the whole time, while Pruim and FTP were just chasing down Akari, and they couldn't really reset with him, where they kind of need the pressure on him. They can't let the Nova and Mystic just go for grabs over and over and over again. Despite obviously having the range grab himself, it's too much constant pressure. And AV can still run in, ambush, Rhapsody, dip out. So they gotta just slow it down, reset, play to their advantage. They saw what they did the first 2 sets. You can do that again.
Yeah, playing to their advantage is going to be a big thing, and just nobody's surprised. We're going into the 5th set with the standard comp, and keep in mind, technically the NA team has beat this EU kind of comp matchup only once. They have the first set that they won, it was against Wizards. So EU with this setup has been in the winnings. And I'm very surprised NA didn't want to try and maybe swap back to the Meiwa, see how it would work out, potentially go for the swap.
I think the Meiwa would be really scary here. Again, we were talking about suction. This is like he only has one real way to get out of it other than getting Archmage by belly. He just has Tiger Blade. So if he gets caught in the suction, he gets slowed too hard, he's going to have a really hard time. Abby just dropping damage. Pruim when he pops Excel. They also have the range grab. There's so much for the Meiwa that Lon, I think, is still the play. They just have to slow it down and play just survive. They need to play survive the Excel. The Excel is the Excel burst, the Mystic E-buff running with SA.
Yeah, well, we do have the game ready, and let's go straight into it. Game 5, match 5, best of 5.
ヨーロッパのFTP さんが使ってるミスティックがめちゃくちゃうまいですね。
They are up 3-0 against EU at International. And if EU wins this set, it'll be the first time in nearly 10 years of BDO service that EU has won against NA. Who's going to be the winner today? Let's hear it. You can hear the crowd chanting. Early round starting off. 15 seconds in. Pruim already with the Excel. Cab already with the Engage. Doesn't manage to get the connection. You can see the Magnus gets it thrown out over on a Pruim as he tries to run the sprint away. That's the range CC from the Kuno. No connection though. Flash / Cozy already taking so much damage from the spin. He needs to be careful. He's going to be popping his E-buff early. This time around, he's going to be trying to go with the aggression, but it just doesn't pay off. Early E-buff coming out from Cozy is not what you want to see. Straight into a V. That is trying to be his lifeline, his tool to survive. The one thing that he has to not die to this EU squad, but it's going to be happening early. The Pruim is going to be there to get the finish. No, 10% belly with the PA, belly with the peel. He froze FTP, managed to make him live, but they still need to try and help him survive here. He's down to his last ropes, and with a V out from Abby, maybe they have a little bit of counter pressure to try and help him survive, but it's going to be tough. Pruim's going to be the first one trying to go for the engage. Belly's going to be nearby, so he's going to manage to get the slow over onto Pruim, forcing him to get straight out. Abby, you can see, he's going to get a little bit of brawl over with Calb. Calb draws the Shadow Explosion, going to get his HP back where he can. They want to try to run down Abby and kill him before they run down Cozy and get the counter kill. Pruim's going to be popping his Excel early here. Still has his SA buff available if he wants to go for it. FTP still staying in the middle of the brawl. They're going after Abby. Calb's nearby, but it looks like Belly's getting pressured out, kind of pushed out, and I'm not too sure where Cozy is. He might
FTP
be over here on the
V
side.
on the
FTP ends up losing his V. We're sitting on Abby's POV. I'd like to get over into the middle of the fight, maybe. There we go. Belly sitting now, goes for the speed spell. He's going to manage to hit it onto 2. Weighing it out, gets a little bit of a heal off. 1 minute 15 seconds. We're going down to 1 minute timers. 2 V's gone from this EU squad, but Cozy's been the main target. And how well can he survive? Belly sitting in the middle. Earthquake evade. Tries to go for the CC on the FTP. No connection. Over up against a pillar.
Abby goes down.
Cozy gets the grab. Abby's going to be the first one to fall. And FTP needs to try and turn this around. Novi's available on the EU squad now. They lost it over on a Pruim as well. Sunuka comes out from Calb. FTP sitting in the middle of it. Calb goes down. Tendon Cutter trying to pressure out Pruim. They're going to get another reset. Cozy's getting soloed out by Pruim, but they need to make sure they don't leave Cozy alone. Coming down from that landing, FTP trying to go for the grab, didn't manage to connect. Cozy goes in the flight, secondary, just trying to run away where he can. There's the PA, Shadow Explosion, get a little bit of counter chip. FTP is going to be forced to cancel out that PA early. Sprouls will beat it over in the pillar, just trying to stay the set. Massive CC, he runs straight into it, Pruim straight to fall, and NA is going to take the first round.
Akari takes so much damage right off the bat, loses V, loses E-buff, but then they get a nice reset, they get some Wizard heals, they get speed spell, he gets his stand back, and then Avi actually ends up being the first one to go down, which is, we haven't seen that.
I didn't expect it at all. We didn't manage to see it. Unfortunately, it was off screen, but Aviel getting grabbed by Cozy. And you can see Cozy, the one round where he's not the first one to fall, this NA squad just looks so much more alive. He has been their main threat, their main vulnerability for EU to exploit. And now he's turning EU into the victims. 1-0. Pruim, once again, he's been the main playmaker in these first 20 seconds, but he hasn't managed to make the biggest of plays as of far with the SA. It's hard to get a grab up. It's hard to get some pressure, unless it's Pruim against Belly. Massive grab, but comes here. Got a grab on a Pruim on the same timing, so he makes a solo V into a 1-for-1, and they're gonna get a counter CC. Abby's on the floor as well. he's made of. I might be some matches sheets, but I'm gonna snug you in tight. Cozy's doing his best here. 2 minute 15. He needs to try and finish out the game though. This NA squad has lost in so many situations. It's gonna start with grabs like that. Cozy getting caught up by Avi. Great timing on the spin by him, knowing his spacing correctly and baiting him out. Cal trying to go for their counter grab over onto Peru. I'm trying to maybe get a counter connection to finish him out. They need to be careful of the HP here though. 80% is gonna be kicking in. Cozy's down to 50 already and he has no V. Belly lost his V earlier, so Cal is gonna be the main playmaker. Early engaging in flash slash, looking for the connection over onto Peru. Peru sprinting away as fast as he can. FTB is gonna be nearby in case he needs to try and get a peel up, and that's exactly what he needs to do. He's gonna grab Peru. Cal gets a solo kill. 1v2. He finishes it off. Now Avi and FTP, the only ones left. Can they get the grab on a Belly or Cozy to turn it back around? I'm not too sure if they can. There's going to be the vacuum. Cozy going to call in the middle. Mangler needs to be careful. Spin's going to be coming out over, trying to get the chip onto him. Cobb goes for the grab over onto FTP, backing off. Belly sitting nearby in case he needs a mass TP or PA Cozy. So this is the thing, even if they manage to get the grab over onto Cozy, Belly can just save him immediately as long as he's close enough. So the EU squad, they're going to be smart about this. So they're going to decide to wait for the 1 minute timers. That way the heal is not as prevalent and they can potentially kill Cozy before the PA or mass TP comes into play. 1 minute's going to be kicking in. There's the 50% HP. FTB's going to be going for the immediate engage. Flash slash comes down, doesn't manage to get it, and then Mangler's going to be there to finish the job. Secondary CC. Massive counter CC. They're going to get the V out of Cal and the kill onto Cozy at the same exact time. Nice timing coming out from Avi. He's going to be trying to go for the counter kill. Can Avi maybe pull off this 1v3 potentially? Cal down to 20%, dashing forward. He's going to be looking for the spin right here. There's the block jump. Stomps away, goes immediately into his smoke screen, uses his cone, backs off. Belly, you can see he's already sitting over in the middle, going for the counter pressure on Avi. He's trying to keep this, make his HP as low as possible. So even if he manages to get the kill on the Cal, then Belly's going to win the round regardless. The time is ticking down. EU's hopes are falling. Avi has to try and go for an engage, but it's just going to be too hard. His HP's too low. I'm not too sure what else he can do. Tendon cutter, there's the meteor, the final nail in the coffin. Who's going to hammer it? Avi just decides to live. He's going to be holding on to that KDA. And the on match point. Anyway, 2-0. We're on match point. NA, they're throwing it back.
Cal just getting on to Krum, no Excel. He needs to farm that back. And actually, even with FTP peeling, he couldn't save him. It was so much, it was such a great play by Cal there. And we're potentially our final round.
The final round.
Potential final round.
Let's hear it, NA crowd. Do you want NA to finish it right here? Let's see. 2-0. Is this gonna be it, or is EU gonna flip it? The flip it, they are. Early engages are going to be the name of the game. They need to go for it. Proom this time around does not manage to connect with the grab. Tried to go for it on the belly, but was just a little bit off. Akari is going to come down from his landing as well. Went for the grab of his own over onto Avi, and now them knowing EU, knowing that Cozy has no grab available, they're going to be trying to go for the counter pressure. Oh my god, Belly's getting hard pressure. 30%, he got forced to solo PA. Solo CC from Cal over in the middle of the shackles is going to be there with the damage, and Avi's going to be forced to via 20%. Cal has Ziva available if he wants to go for some kind of play. There's going to be another CC, but it looks like they managed to stand up. I'm not too sure what that was. Maybe a mass TP save coming out from Belly over on Akari. Akari's going to be popping his E-buff now. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. Pruum, you can see coming out. It's going to be in the middle right there. There's the mana shield coming out. Pruum's going to be the first one with the engage. That Excel timing is going to be no joke here. He has a grab window for free. He ends up missing a combo on the opposite end. Is going to end up missing it. 2 minute timers, 80% HP, and Pruum's just trading down Belly in the middle of his vacuum. Calb decides, I don't even need to help him though. Trusting in his teammate. He's going to let him play his own game, and he's going to be looking for a counter CC where he can. 1 minute, 50 seconds. Waiting it out. Dashes, engages onto Cal, but didn't manage to connect. Shadow Explosion comes out right there. Needs to be careful of the frontal guard. Shadow Stomp, and there's the E-buff coming out from Cal. That Kuno E-buff is going to be some massive damage, especially as the timer is going to be ticking down and getting closer to those 1 minute, so he needs to make use of it where he can before the 50% HP. Otherwise, it may have just been a waste, maybe a bit overzealous, because EU is just going to take it as a chance to reset. And then almost it gets Pruum! Massive Shadow Stomp, they get a CC, he's forced to V, and they're going to take this as an opportunity, and they put the pressure, and then the crowd, FTP's going to be killed to fall! Pruum's the last one left, and it's one man against three! All of EU's hopes and dreams He's riding on the back of this Nova, and can he pull it off? 1 minute left, dashes forward, Tennecutter comes out, tries to go with the Starfall, doesn't manage to connect. USA is finishing it off, the crowd is chanting it, they want to see it. 3-0 for NA in their first set, and NA are your NA versus EU champions for the 3rd time in a row.
Still undefeated. NA 3-0, insanely good showing. Match was, I'm at a loss for words right now. They finally, they keep it here.
Yeah, the excitement is real. You can hear the crowd in the background. They're cheering them on. We have our NA boys there. These guys have done so well. They practiced for so long to get here. And I mean, props to EU. I want to say these guys, they ended up going from a 15, 20-hour flight all the way to get here. It's hard to deal with, especially the home crowd. It's especially hard to deal with. And, you know, hopefully one day we'll get to see a tourney in EU as well. I think I'd love to see that as well. What do you think?
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, all the NA boys have been in NA. And it's just, they played it so well. Akari adjusted so well. And
they're lifting the trophy. That's your NA boys. Cozy, Calb, and Belly. Congratulations on your win. It's huge. 3-2.
3-2. Every set ever gone 3-2, and it's always been so close, but just not quite. I could have gone anywhere. To bring back the adjustments for both sides, I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words as well, and I'm sure our players are just as much at a loss for words. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Enlave. Take it over, my man.
Thank you very much, Armin and Divios. Thank you very much for casting. A big round of applause to the casters as well, everyone. NA is your NAEU Showdown champions! 3 wins to 0. Holy, it was close though.
It was really close. Like, after they started getting the 2 wins, after our first 2 wins, I started to get scared. I was like, okay, this is cinema. We're going to the 5th round, and we're gonna 3-0. And it just went through. We got the grabs, we got the CCs, changed our little plans, and it all worked out.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, who do you think on the enemy team was like the biggest problem for you guys?
Honestly, for me, it was Aviel, because he was just spamming damage so high. I got just scared. I had to be like so defensive to not die. But at the end, I mean, I just told my team to peel me the most they can and get the damage in so they can't be as aggressive.
Yeah. So what was the change up in tactics in that last final match?
On the last final match, we pretty much, because Belly was focusing the Nova, and then Cal was trying to peel me, we realized it wasn't working out, and that Belly with PAs, with mass TP, I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna survive now. Like, there's no way I'm gonna die.
Okay, amazing. So, did any of your like practice or like going into the match, like before you actually played the match, like your tactics, everything that you're planning to do for this match against EU, did it all just change on the day, or was it like this is what you actually, practice for?
This is actually what we practiced for. We practiced with like the same exact comp. Honestly, the first match when I saw FTP on Wizard, I was like, what's happening? Why is he not a Mystic? And then afterwards, they came to Mystic, and we already knew like what was the plans, and I already knew they were about to focus me, because the moment I had no grab, it was just full damage. But we just had to adapt, and it worked out how we all planned.
Amazing. Everyone, put your hands together for your champions! Congratulations once again. The crowd is going crazy. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, before we end this show, we have a coupon code that we would like to share with everyone. Let's take a look. The coupon. We got some extra rewards. world's
ということで、まあ、クーポン出てますね。
Okay. And that pretty much wraps up
はい、と
this
いうことで、じゃあ
match.
こちらも
Well
クーポ
done
ン
to
出して
both
いきたい
teams.
と
It
思い
was a
ます。
close one in the end. Another best of 5 all the way to the last
はい、
set.
ということで、
I hope you've enjoyed.
大会記
Take
念
care
ク
of
ーポン
yourself
は
and
こちら
enjoy
に
the
なりま
ball.
す。
Bye, everyone!
必要な方は一時停止していただいて、クーポンね、ゲーム内のクーポン登録のところでやっていただきたいなと思います。はい、ということで、もっとでかいね。音がでかい。さあ、ということで、まあね、ミラー配信を見てきましたけれども、なかなか PVP をやらない人からすると、一体何が起こっているのかすら分かんない部分が若干あるんですけれども、まあメインで使っているミスティックのね、ヨーロッパのプレイヤーさんが、すごく見てて強かったと思うので、やっぱり上手い人は本当上手いね。まあ、これを機にちょっと PVP に、ゴリッと行ってみようかなって思う部分もあるんですけれども、まあね、チーム戦なんで、一緒にやるっていう人はなかなかいないかなと思うんですけれども、参考にさせていただいて、これからもやっていこうかなというふうに思います。ということで、もう一回ね、クーポンの方出しておきますね。はい。ということで、2026年ハイデル宴会記念の、大会記念クーポンはこちらとなっております。ゲーム内のクーポン登録のところで、こちらのね、クーポンを入れていただいて、クーポン、ねアイテムゲットしてください。本日の、この後10時からハイデル宴会、配信始まりますので、こちらで、さすがにミラー配信はね、できませんけれども、見ていこうかなと思います。ということで、本日の配信はこれで終わりたいと思います。ということで、皆様お疲れ様でございました。